Good evening, everyone. I'm Attorney Theo Fiacles, and I'm a Deputy Procurement Officer here at the city. This is night 2 of 2 of our Phase 2 public presentations. Again, these public presentations are optional, but they are very informative to the public and the review committee about the preliminary plans of some of them. The first night went great. I'm really excited to finish strong tonight. We're going to give everybody 15 minutes to present. So we ask that you be cognizant of your time and respectful to others so everyone can get the right amount of time to make their public presentations. There will be no time for public comment or questions or anything like that. We're just going to keep it rolling. So thank you very much.
All right. Again, we're going to operate this much like we did on Monday. So the first group will come in. We identified individuals for each group. We'll bring you on as panelists. You will have screen shared access. You can see that on the bottom of the screen when you were on, to share any slides that you like. Just let us know if there's any other people part of your group. The first group we have is Green Gold Group, and I will bring them on now. James, there he is. All right. James?
I am here. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Excellent. Is there anyone else part of your group?
It is just me tonight.
Excellent. All right, the floor is yours.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Thank you to the city and to the council for allowing Green Gold Group to be present here tonight and discuss a little bit more about our project. My name is James McMahon, and I serve as the corporate counsel, proud to be here representing Green Gold Group, the premier cannabis operator in the Commonwealth, as we seek to present our proposal and seek to earn the city's support on our project. First, allow me to give a bit of background on the Green Gold Group and their company history. I'm sharing this. Can you gentlemen see the slides, hopefully?
Yep, you see it good.
Perfect. Always have to check on these things. Green Gold Group was originally founded in 2015. It obtained their provisional licenses in 2017 and is producing cannabis and cannabis products here in Massachusetts since 2018. Green Gold Group's family-owned, family-operated facility is headquartered in North Brookfield, Massachusetts, where they operate a 153,000 square foot state-of-the-art cannabis production facility. In fact, the facility is so advanced, NBC News has done a showpiece presentation on the building and its operators to describe to newly legalized states exactly what they can expect from the cannabis industry. The resource use in this building is so sustainable that energy efficiency engineers are using the facility as a model to create an energy score with which to rate other cultivation facilities. It is a zero discharge facility where a majority of the waste is composted by local farmers. Within 18 months of build out and development, Green Gold Group took an abandoned metal fabrication factory, transformed it into a state-of-the-art, fully vertically integrated cannabis production facility, and created over 130 jobs, all hired locally. This is the source of all of Green Gold's product, and it's the product that we'll be proud to be bringing to Springfield at our proposed retail location. We're most proud of Green Gold Group's commitment to their clients. Our original mission for entering the industry was to provide unparalleled flower and cannabis products to medical patients for the therapeutic use of cannabis, and that is still the core focus of the company. It is a passion of Green Gold Group's founder and CEO, Ralph Aronov, who is unfortunately unable to be here tonight due to a family commitment, who saw struggles within his community of addiction and untreated illnesses and realized he was in a unique position to be able to help others and bring quality, sustainable, and tested products safely to Massachusetts. We are happy to see how much our clients appreciate our product, and with numerous hardship programs to bring down the cost, as well as the advantage of being vertically integrated, we're able to offer a wide variety of products at the lowest possible prices. After growing the business to include recreational cannabis, that same commitment to quality and customer service has expanded to serve all members of the Massachusetts cannabis community, and the feedback has remained unchanged. Our customers love what they have come to expect from Green Gold Group. When Green Gold selected their first retail site in Charlton, they took over an abandoned property with both structural and environmental issues that was an eyesore as a gateway building to the community. Now, after a multi-million-dollar investment, they have transformed that site into one of the most beautiful and welcoming cannabis retail facilities in the state. Green Gold Group is excited to take this experience and apply it to the site in Springfield. Also a currently underutilized building that is in a gateway property in serious need of rehabilitation. Green Gold Group works with an incredibly diverse supply network. They work with a huge proportion of the cannabis operators in the Commonwealth to supply their product needs with a reliable, tested, and sustainable product. We've listed the names of some of our vendors here. I'm sure you'll see some familiar names, from some of the largest to some of the smallest operators in the Commonwealth. As a company that is fully owned and operated by first-generation immigrants, a key focus in our supply network is assisting social equity and economic empowerment business owners, women-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, and other family-owned businesses. There are no corporate investors or multi-state operators involved with Green Gold Group, just a family looking to help support other families in the cannabis business. Part of that focus includes supporting these businesses as they open. Green Gold offers, at minimal cost, a compliance package of the necessary products these operators will need to pass their inspections by the Cannabis Control Commission, as well as assistance in preparing for inventory review. Green Gold also helps these operators determine their supply needs, their menu selection, and offers delivery to their door at no additional cost. Economic empowerment and social equity businesses that Green Gold is proud to work with get an additional advantage. They're the only businesses allowed to purchase product fully on credit and pay it back on consignment without any interest or any servicing fees. As these entrepreneurs build their businesses, Green Gold extends the financing terms to be as user-friendly as possible. Green Gold Group's commitment to diversity extends far beyond vendor relations. As a company founded by and fully owned and operated by first-generation immigrants, diversity is not the goal, but is the total corporate culture. In light of that, fully 100% of all upper and middle management positions are held by people of diverse backgrounds, whether as members of traditionally underrepresented groups, women, veterans, and people with diverse gender and sexual identities. Overall, 48% of all company positions are held by people who identify as women, and women hold nearly all senior management positions: the retail general manager, the inventory manager, human resources director, vault manager, packaging manager, nursery manager, and growing, and all positions at Green Gold Group are filled by internal promotion only. 23% having a diverse heritage, with all three of the Grow team leads coming from immigrant communities all the way down to our entry-level positions. While this number does have room to grow, bear in mind that the Green Gold Group host communities are 97 and 98% made up of people who identify as Caucasian. We think the progress made so far is a great testament to Green Gold's commitment to outreach and inclusion. In a community as diverse and dynamic as Springfield, we intend to continue this company mission and ensure the business demographics reflect the city and the community's rich heritage. Since 2015, Green Gold Group has been a model corporate citizen in their host communities, with community leaders knowing they can rely on Green Gold for easy, transparent communication, rigid adherence to compliance, and a commitment to better the community every day. From the first jobs fair we held in 2017, all hiring has been entirely local. For any job fair we hold in our host communities, we hold an additional jobs fair in a community of disproportionate impact. We only hold jobs fairs in these local areas. Every hire we've made so far has been local. We promote fully from within and are looking forward to the opportunity to create long-term sustainable careers for Springfield residents within Green Gold Springfield. Within all bounds of applicable employment laws, we give additional preference in hiring to local residents and residents of diverse background. All positions at the Springfield facility, fully 100% of those positions, from general manager to the part-time greeter, will be filled by Springfield residents. We expect to create at least 35 careers at this site. Overall, our lifetime employee retention rate is over 70%. The standard for the industry is under 40%. We think the greatest compliment to our working environment is that several team members who have left for other opportunities have since come back to work for Green Gold, citing our high wages, excellent benefits, flexible work structure, supportive work environment, and greater opportunities for advancement than they have seen elsewhere. Outside of our workplace, we work closely with our host communities to support local programs, including the food banks and senior centers, and have regular canned good drives in our locations. We offer paid employee days of service, have completed unfulfilled town budgets for parades and parks, and even offer our employees time off to spend with their families outside of PTO. We've also donated necessary life-saving equipment. One piece of this equipment, an automatic CPR device that the fire department did not have within their budget, saved a life within its first week after our donation. We're proud to be able to be of service to our communities, and we look forward to having that opportunity to be of service to Springfield. A key focus of our work in Springfield will be developing the Green Gold Business Incubator. The cornerstone of the proposal is making use of a separate building on the property, 8 times the size of our proposed retail location, and having it be fully at the benefit of the community. This 28,000 square foot building will be entirely devoted to local entrepreneurs and businesses from the South End and Forest Park neighborhoods. There will be 12 incubator spaces for businesses and offices and a 4,000 square foot multi-purpose community space. We received feedback on this idea from multiple meetings with the South End Citizens Council, who suggested we create a space for community uses, including meetings, pop-ups, and even music practices. We've devoted this level of space, which is larger than our retail facility of itself, strictly for those uses. It'll be entirely free of use for the community. It'll be fully furnished, fully fitted out with AV equipment, and there to support any community need. All rents for the space, the 12 individual storefronts, will be subsidized by Green Gold Group and pegged at a small fraction of the market rate. This will allow flexible and low-cost use of the space by entrepreneurs while allowing their businesses to build credit history and have the ability to grow. If any business outgrows the space, the leases will offer early termination without any fee or penalty, and we sincerely hope that everyone there outgrows the space very quickly. Green Gold leadership will meet regularly with the business in the incubator to help support and develop their growth through mentorship and sharing best practices, particularly those looking to enter either the medical or adult use cannabis industry, where we can offer application support, compliance advisory, and other technical materials. When Ralph Aronoff, the CEO, and his family first emigrated to this country, they began their business selling watches at a table in a flea market. Through hard work and determination, they grew their business to become one of the tri-state area's largest gem and jewelry wholesalers with a chain of their own jewelry shops. They've also used the experience they gained in finding a property for their business to become real estate developers, starting with a small storefront location and now building 30-story towers in Manhattan. Ralph, his brother and sister, who are the 3 owners and operators of the facility, are grateful for the help they have received on their path to success and understand their obligation to help others succeed as well. They want to see other Springfield residents grow and prosper just as they did, and are happy to advise and share their stories to people just starting out. It'll be the sole condition placed on participation in the incubator that all members of the business incubator will have to commit to local, equitable hiring for their businesses, engaging positively with the community through service, and participating in local community groups, particularly the South End Business Association. The site we have identified for this use is the former Howard Johnson's on East Columbus Avenue, 333-337 East Columbus. The site has fallen into disrepair and is not the gateway that the city and the neighborhood deserves. Green Gold is uniquely positioned to transform and develop this site into a true asset to the city and for the residents of the South End and Forest Park. A major advantage to this space is its location. With over 100 parking spaces available and located at the end of East Columbus, traffic is not a concern, nor is any interference with any other local businesses. There's pedestrian access to the entire site, and we are planning to install bike racks, rideshare hot points, and electric vehicle charging stations. After receiving feedback from community groups concerned with traffic on Bruno Street, we propose closing the curb cut access there, removing any ability for our clients to travel through neighborhoods and down Bruno Street, and will advertise the correct means of access along East Columbus Avenue in all of our launch materials and on our website. The retail operation is proposed for the former restaurant space. It will be built out to Green Gold Class A standard and serve as the company's new flagship location. And just an example of what we intend that to look like. We will update the pylon sign to read "Welcome to the City of Firsts" to celebrate our Springfield heritage. The secondary signs will read "Green Gold Group" and the Green Gold Business Incubator, no mention of cannabis whatsoever, merely a celebration of the businesses that will be taking place there. The former hotel spaces, which have been converted into multi-use offices, will be updated to repair structural issues and transform them into a modern mixed-use office to host the incubator. The incubator participants can be proud to host meetings and build their businesses in brand new spaces with all necessary IT requirements to allow for remote business development. Throughout the lot, there will be significant upgrades to landscaping, lighting, and the security systems. Green Gold Group security staff will regularly patrol the lot, removing the need for the current officers who have to spend time there preventing vandalism. The projected budget for this renovation includes $2 million to renovate the retail space and bring it up to code, as well as $10 million to renovate the offices and the business incubator. The business incubator for us is really the heart and soul of this project, and we view the cannabis retail operation as a way to drive traffic and drive business into those businesses in the incubator. It will help residents build careers, gain experience, and have opportunities to develop their own business in the most sustainable and welcoming environment possible. Between the renovations, the careers directly created by the retail use, and the jobs created through the incubator, the site will become a valuable asset to the city and a true engine for its economic growth and development. Green Gold looks forward to the opportunity to grow with the city and to be of service to its residents. I thank you for the opportunity to present tonight. I hope you've learned a little bit more about Green Gold Group and their plans for the site. We look forward to be of service to the city, and we can't wait to get started. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We're going to return you to the attendee status, and you can stay if you want to watch and continue. All right. Next group on we have is Greenleaf Dispensary, and we will bring them on now. Let's see, Michael. Brian. Joshua. Let's see, Michael. All right, gentlemen, I think that's everyone that I see.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening.
All right, the floor is yours.
Ash, can you hear us? Or Brian?
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. The floor is yours to present.
First off, good evening and thank you for your time tonight. My name is Brian O'Donnell, and I'd like to introduce Greenleaf Dispensary, who will be applying as a marijuana retailer for a dispensary at 1168 Boston Road, right at the corner of Boston Road and Temby Street, right in between 5 Mile and Loon Pond. As you can see, looking at the aerial photo, the site has multiple curb cuts and ample parking. Before we talk about the site, I'd first like to introduce you to the team. Hash Patel. Hash is the owner and CEO of Greenleaf Dispensary, and he has been a licensed pharmacist for nearly 20 years and is currently an owner, president, and CEO of Four Bros Incorporated, a medically vertically integrated cannabis operation located nearby in Holyoke. Hash will speak more to his qualified background shortly. Josh Dupree. Josh will serve as Greenleaf's Director of Retail Operations. Josh's background includes both cannabis retail and cultivation experience in Massachusetts. Josh's deep knowledge of the CCC and metrics compliance regulations ensures safety and timely transactions. Myself, Brian O'Donnell, will serve as Chief of Security. My background includes designing and installing security, access control, intrusion and fire alarm systems for dozens of operational cannabis dispensaries in Massachusetts. Michael Petrin. Michael is with VHB, our projects engineer, and will walk you through the site plan later today. Kevin Shea. Architectural Environmental Life is the project's architect, and Kevin Shea will take you through the floor plan following Mike's portion. Hash, could you please tell us a little more about your past and how that influenced you to start in medical cannabis?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Brian. Yes, as Brian mentioned, my name is Hash Patel. I'm an owner, president, CEO of the Green Leaf Dispensary. We are a small business, family-owned company. We are fully self-funded. My career in medicine began when I became a licensed pharmacist in 2003. I own and operate 3 pharmacies. Since then, I've been counseling patients, filling prescriptions, following state and federal regulations for handling prescription drugs, including controlled prescriptions, controlled substances like C2 narcotics and opioids. Throughout my professional experience and learning and seeing benefit of cannabis, I decided to open and be part of Four Bros INC, doing business under East Coast Farms, which is a 30,000 square feet facility in Holyoke. We are approved for vertical license for cultivation, manufacturing, retail for both medical and adult use in Holyoke. Our cultivation facility is currently operational. Based on experience with regulations and compliance in medicine and pharmacy, and now working with CCC and using metric on daily basis, my team has already proven, and we are more than capable of meeting or exceeding the requirement of safety and security. Also, to quickly open the marijuana dispensary in the area of disproportionate impact in Massachusetts. We will provide private consultation to educate our patients. We will provide medical grade cannabis product to our adult use customers. We see this opportunity in Springfield as a chance to build off what we have already achieved in Holyoke. We are proven operator in the area of disproportionate impact, and we are committed to sourcing and hiring locally. We'll talk more about social impact of this project later in the presentation. Now let me hand it over to Mike, who will give a brief overview about the site. See if Mike can take over.
I don't think Mike is on.
Mike, can you hear me?
No, he's not on the list. He's not on. He didn't log on here.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Okay, folks, I'll take over. This is Brian. I'll speak to the conceptual site plan. The site improvements is to reuse an existing building on Boston Road. It's a great location to have a dispensary. And the reasons being it's reusing an existing building. There's ample parking. The site lighting and security cameras will exceed all expectations of the CCC and the state. The entrance will have 2 doors, one with a waiting area before clients are allowed in. And also with the side street of Tempe, there's going to be minimal traffic generation with over 30 parking spots. There's also room for 10 patrons to wait in the waiting area. And once the retrofit of this project starts, it'll include landscaping, beautiful lighting, and enhance the neighborhood.
Brian, if I might,
I'll turn this over to you. What's that?
I'm happy to chime in as well, Brian.
Sure, Kevin. So go ahead, Kevin.
So as we know, this is an existing, longstanding existing site with a long history of restaurant and retail use. So as a pre-developed site permitted for such traffic in the city of Springfield, this is a great opportunity to upgrade and really restore a high-functioning, safe site within the Boston Road corridor and community. So we'll have opportunity to manage the curb cuts, have secure parking, secure delivery, loading, and waste management. So I think this this application goes a long way towards preserving and bringing back a site that's, you know, like many in the city, struggling to reach its
Yes,
potential.
how you doing? Thank you for having me.
So this, additionally, within the building itself, it's a great opportunity for reuse of an existing building. It's a sustainable approach. It offers a great environmental response. It's making good use of our pre-existing building stock without filling the landfill and you know, causing more waste and more environmental damage. You can see here from the locus map, setbacks and clearances, distances to neighboring community. And you can see in this corridor that is well-traveled and has a well-established pattern of commercial and residential uses alike, that this is a great opportunity to restore a site and bring it back and bring it up to a high caliber of use and be a good neighbor. Brian, anything else on this diagram you'd like to talk on?
No, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Sure.
We'll move on to the security. As I mentioned before, myself and the rest of the team have a lot of experience with these dispensary build outs, and we've taken that experience and implemented in this design. With security and safety always being the focal point of our designs, this design exceeds local and state regulations. Our store will feature all the required security procedures and measures such as cameras, intrusions, and access control, panic buttons, and also goes above and beyond to incorporate metal detectors and a thoughtful and secure flow pattern and layout. Employees getting trained by professionals at New England Protective Services is just another small example to mention. The neighborhood, customers, and employee safety is absolutely paramount in our operations. Lastly, I'd like to have Josh speak a little more to the social impact of this project.
Brian, do you want me to touch on the floor plan, or do you want to do?
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's just go back to,
We got 2 plans in a row, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, scroll forward, please.
yep.
Back 1.
Okay.
There we go. So just to highlight the architecture of the building specific to the renovation. Everything we're doing in the building really reinforces everything we're talking about in terms of the security and also in terms of the quality of the fit up. You'll see the shared entry and exit are actually separated such that the entrance point allows for clear opportunity to manage the flow of people and separate those from the exiting patrons. So on entry, you can see right away there's an entry vestibule, the metal detection and dual check ID check, heightening security. Within that, you arrive in a waiting space, which in COVID times allows for a physically, socially distant waiting space. It also allows us the opportunity to stretch out queuing and bring people into the space safely and separately. From there, they're able to process into a seating area, which also offers an opportunity for sub-waiting before you make your way into the actual sales retail area. And here there's reception and opportunity to connect to a consult if you need a private consult for a medical specific question or product related question. From this, the sub-waiting, of course, there's restrooms that are proximate, but more importantly, it offers a secure managed flow before and when you enter into the sales floor area, which is about 800 square feet, includes product display, and is fronted by a long sales counter. So of course, in this space, there's an opportunity to create a nice, light, airy space. The glazing will be fritted or opaque such that the light comes in, but there'll still be a privacy from view and from the street side. And most importantly, in terms of the establishment, there's a clear separation between the public side and the private side. The private we would show as the office space, and that is secure. The back of house is always secure, and you can see how the public is managed at the front of the building, and the back allows for a break, the security office, vault storage, and the inventory processing. All of that is managed through a secure series of doors, connections, entry, and exit. And the manager's office, of course, is directly adjacent to the sales counter. So as a patron were to enter and process through the entry, waiting, seating into the sales area, that flow is managed, allows us to track the people, keep us COVID safe, and then we can exit through the vestibule. So while the existing entry points are close together and we're capitalizing on those, it allows us to manage and spread out the flow of the space. So in this existing building, you can see how this is a nice fit for the function. It connects nicely to the site, to the parking, to secure parking and delivery, offering a really strong design response to the program need and the neighborhood. Brian?
Okay, Josh, would you like to speak on behalf of the social impact?
Absolutely. All right, guys. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you guys for allowing us to present here. Our team plans to create a safe and friendly neighborhood dispensary that will really cater to all clientele, whether it's quick and efficient online ordering, curbside pickup, or a private consultation where we can offer the same privacy and comfort as your local pharmacy. This is a store where all customers will feel comfortable and where all needs will be met. As we have previously done, we will hire local contractors for the construction, hire local employees, and source additional products from local vendors. We think the community builds itself from within, and that is why we plan to hire graduates from STIC and HCC's cannabis education programs, as well as give preference to vendors with economic empowerment and social equity designations. We are currently working with Allison at the Friends of Homeless Shelter and Brian of John C. Boyle O'Reilly Youth Sports Program to finalize this support. We have our community outreach meeting shortly after this presentation and look forward to hearing more from the community on where they need support. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
With that being said, I'd once again like to thank everyone for their time tonight and good luck to the rest of the applicants. Thank you.
Guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good evening. I'm going to return you to attendee status and bring on the next group now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next group we have is Verdant. I do not see Tito. I do not see Mr. Jackson on board. Anyone else you had?
No, that's the only name.
All right. If there's anyone representing Verdant, could you please either raise your hand or say so in the chat? We have a Tito Jackson for Verdant. Going once, twice. All right, we will go to the next group. I believe it's pronounced, what is this?
I've been saying apical.
Apical Inc. Do I have it right? Isaac Fletcher. There you go. Fletcher, Isaac, yep. Promote you right now. Isaac, you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Is there anyone else in the group?
Yeah, Brian Horrigan should be on, and he will need to share his screen.
Yep, I see. Yep, well, I see your name twice. I'm assuming this is him.
Mhm.
There you go.
I may have signed in using Isaac's. I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm Brian Horrigan. So,
No problem.
share my screen, okay? Okay, is that all right?
Yeah, please.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Floor is yours. You may begin.
I'm just going to wait for Brian's screen to be shared. There we go.
Let's see. Mm-mm. All right, I'm gonna try something else here.
I'm gonna get started while Brian sets up the slides. I don't need the slides for the piece that I'm gonna say. So I just want to start off by saying good evening, everybody, and thanks for your time tonight. My name is Isaac Fleischer, and I'm with the law firm Bacon and Wilson, which I'm sure many of you know. We're based right here in Springfield, and I believe we're the oldest law firm in Western Massachusetts. I'm the head of Bacon Wilson's marijuana law department, and I've been able to work with Apical pretty much since day one, which was about 3 years ago. The founders of Apical, Kot Kassom and his wife, Likena Sohm, reached out to me pretty much immediately after the state legalized the production and distribution of marijuana. They were really excited to get involved and have, quite literally a mom and pop shop. And they were really serious about it, and they pursued and they obtained licenses for cultivation of adult use marijuana, manufacturing, and retail as well. They were very successful in getting those licenses, but as anybody who's worked in this industry knows, there's a lot of hurdles for anybody who's new to this industry. Primarily, funding is a huge one, and expertise. This is not like other types of retail. And so, they quickly adapted, and they started meeting with companies that had strong backgrounds in the industry. And they met with a few before they settled on a group called Panda Solutions. And Panda Solutions, they chose them for a number of reasons. I mean, they're the number one operator in the state of Washington. They've worked with top marijuana establishments all over the country. But I think it was also just a really good match in terms of values. Panda Solutions is also a family business. And they really shared Kot and Likena's passion for engaging with the community that they're operating within. And so once that partnership happened with, with the addition of Panda Solutions to Apical, they really started to grow fast, and they opened up a cultivation and manufacturing facility in Fitchburg. And they currently have retail operations pending in both East Hampton and Northampton. As I mentioned, I'm a cannabis attorney. I work with a lot of operating and aspiring cannabis businesses, and I've really kind of recognized that there's a number of different factors that need to fall into place for any cannabis company to be successful. They obviously need a strong background in business and finance. They obviously need a strong understanding of the cannabis industry in particular. And of course, they always need access to capital. This is an extremely capital intensive business. But I think that what's often overlooked is that businesses need to have a real understanding of the community that they're operating in, especially here in Massachusetts, where local control is such a big part of the process. So, I think Apical is one of the rare businesses that is really firing all those cylinders. They really meet each of those requirements. And I think they're going to be a great addition to Springfield. So I'm going to introduce Brian Horrigan now. He's managing partner of Panda Solutions and Apical, and he can tell you more about the specific retail facility they proposed for Springfield.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm sorry, I've been wrestling here with the screen share that got a little off on me. But thank you. Grateful for this opportunity. Very grateful to have the opportunity to share our story and give you our vision as we go forward. As Isaac mentioned, some of our other colleagues are on a community meeting right now, including Kakasam, the founder of the company, who he gave you the background with. But what we're proposing to do here, and I apologize, the screen's not coming out as well. We are proposing to have an adult use retail marijuana establishment located at 785 Page Boulevard. The graphics on the right give you a sense of their location and the buildings that we're working with right now. We're in the East Springfield neighborhood. It was formerly the Boulevard Machine and Gear Shop. That has vacated it for, I guess, well over a year now. And as you can see from the graphic, it's a pretty good sized property. A little bit about Apical. It's a Massachusetts-based corporation. It's vertically integrated with it's a vertically integrated CCC licensee. That is, they currently have a provisional Tier 6 cultivation and manufacturing facility that is under construction. It's more than 200,000 square feet. That's currently being built out in Fitchburg. The founder is reasonably local. He resides today in East Hampton and has been a longtime resident. He's the founder of Apical. He steered the vision. That is, he wanted to have a tightly scoped geographical focus in that Western Mass market, not only because of his local roots, but because it allows him to keep the business on there, allows the business to keep their finger on the pulse of the communities they serve and affect them in a positive way. So with that, where Apical is to date, they're building out. They have provisional retail license for a location in East Hampton, under construction, probably be open next couple months, and also a site acquired with a license submitted for a marijuana establishment in the Northampton area. The end game for COT was to deliver the best-in-class establishments to Western Mass. But this industry has a steep learning curve. And there's, among all industries, it's been cited before by Moody's Investor Services that 50% of new small businesses do not survive their first 5 years in existence. Now, I'm not talking cannabis, I'm talking all industries, all sectors. But I don't believe that this cannabis space is immune to that statistic. That is, we've already seen evidence in some of the earlier markets of a lot of operators that didn't survive, didn't make it. And perhaps it could be the intense rules and onerous rules that govern and regulate the sales of this product. But also it is frankly capital intensive to get started. So it demands experience, proficiencies, the standard operating procedures, and capital to strengthen the likelihood of success. With that, he's teamed up with the founders of Grow Up Farms. And they're experienced operators. And the end game there is, again, bringing the best in class operation to Western Mass. As I mentioned, Grow Up Farms, just a little bit of background. They consider themselves a large scale boutique. They're based on the West Coast, out of Spokane, but another, again, early stage market. It's a multi-state operator, but unlike others, it's family owned. It's closely held. It's a husband and wife team that have done very well. They have more than 7 years operating experience, a cultivation and manufacturing facility there. But because Washington prohibits cultivators, manufacturers from operating retail, they serve more than 500 constituents from 500 retail stores throughout the state, and have worked very, very closely with them to develop some of the best practices. The facility they have is widely recognized as one of the finest in all of North America. But importantly, Rob and Katrina have been open. They brought all kinds of, anybody who ever wanted to go into their facility and learn more, they've been wide open. They enjoy aligning with like-minded independent operators to help even the playing field against some of the larger publicly traded venture capital multi-state operators by bringing them some economies of scale, efficiencies, design, proven concepts, shorten the learning curve to get to the market first, fastest, finest. But Grow Up Farms, to develop that model and emerge into others, they've created a company called Taylor Solutions, where we just simply look at that proof of concept, proof of performance, model of success, and tailor it to new and emerging markets, i.e. Massachusetts. But to strengthen the proficiency at retail, we've also onboarded a gentleman named Sonny Langdon to oversee and develop all new retail locations. He too has 7 years operating experience in what was formerly medical, today is adult use. One of the more successful stores in the state of Washington, which is a fiercely competitive state. He's been involved in pilot programs for retail cannabis banking that led to practices that are embraced nationwide by within other states. Importantly, though, he's got an unmatched reputation. And among his 7 years, he's the only operator in the greater Spokane area to never have ever been cited with any compliance violation. I think that speaks volumes. He does a great job with his staff and employee. I formerly came out of retail. Retention, turnover with the staff employees is a challenge. It's tough. But he's got a very, very low turnover rate. And I think it's a function of he treats all of his employees as family. He wants to keep them happy, keep them content, keep them well paid, provide other benefits to reduce that turnover and keep loyal employees. As far as the location itself, it meets the zoning criteria. It's just a quick map. You got the box here. We're in Industrial A, which is zoned. And frankly, we know there's not a terrific number of areas that meet the zoning requirement, but to do a proximity overview a little bit higher up, we're also adhering to, we comply with all the regulations. That is, we're in excess of 50 feet from residents. We're more than 300 feet from any other marijuana establishment and more than 500 feet from schools. So just checking the boxes again, we hit many of the key ones, but importantly too, we're using an existing building, which is one of the I guess it's advocating for using some of the existing ones versus building up in the ground. And it's one of the few streets that allows it with their zoning. And it's in a census tract, albeit not in a disproportionate, it's immediately adjacent to census tracts that are deemed disproportionate, areas of disproportionate impact. We've done some renderings. We've got a local architectural firm that's already done some preliminary drawings, elevations, 3Ds for us. I can say we haven't exactly dialed in on exactly which look, but at the same time, we're using this to get some input and guidance from the neighbors, the community. We met with the neighborhood association recently, and like I said, now doing the outreach. From an aerial, you can see what this is the property today. The property does include 2 other buildings on it, the ones with the green X's, as well as some other, there were some containers out there in the back, which have since been removed. Today, it has 22 lined parking spaces, but our intent will be to remove those buildings, bring them down, won't create any additional impervious surface. And what that will allow for is nearly 50 total parking spaces, which we believe is substantially adequate to support the retail location. Here's a preliminary site concept plan. We're working with VHB, John Furman specifically of Springfield and civil engineering to work on all design. Also doing a very comprehensive, performing a traffic study. And certainly as we go forward and hopefully we get awarded, we'll continue to assess the traffic opportunity and look at the best patterns to mitigate any undue traffic or any undue disruption. We want to be a good neighbor. We don't want to be disruptive to the neighborhood. And at the same time, we don't want our customers to have a difficult time coming to the store. Here's another concept with the buildings gone. You can see an aerial rendering of the store. Importantly too, security. It's got, the store will allow for a closed door secured environment where a van can go in to make deliveries, close it so it's not visible to the public eye, but highly secured, highly monitored, and just keep it additionally safe and secure. Talking about security, we don't take it lightly. We've been in the space for a little bit, and the industry demands intense security measures. And we have to date retained a former FBI officer and police officer to be a security consultant for all of our locations. He helps design, develop, and launch SOPs. They're agile, they're continuously improved, but then at the same time, he onboards the local security people we have. For instance, we've got a couple of candidates we've reached out to, local, albeit some former, some current law enforcement that might be interested in doing it. We've talked to them. We would have him on board with him, perhaps fly him to the West Coast to go through all the security and training orientation. But again, everything we will do on site will not only meet, but it will exceed the CCC regulations, because we also provide additional measures that are required to augment what the CCC does. For instance, that mentioned the secure receiving, but we'll also have rooftop monitored 24-hour cameras on the rooftops. As far as our commitment to the community, Abacal and the Grow Up Farm Panda Solutions team, as an advocate for the industry, we profoundly embrace supporting the diversity, equity, areas of disproportionate, as established not only by the city of Springfield, but frankly has become a pillar in so many other new emerging markets on board today. We're right behind it. It's in keeping with the industry. It's the spirit of the industry, and it's refreshing to see. We talked about local focus. To do that, we're going to hire nothing but local. Staff it. The idea is to staff the store with people that the neighbors will come to know and trust. 100% Springfield residents is the ultimate goal. And we got criteria built into it about diversity and social equity. As close to 50% of the people who are either persons of color, persons with prior drug convictions, veterans, gender preference, gender identification, and women. We're going to emphasis on women as well, but ultimately I'd like to have a goal of more than 50% of a staff that's women, with an emphasis on single moms, working with certain groups. And frankly, we're prepared and have already been looking at scheduling hours that are going to be accommodating to the unique needs of women, of single moms. So, that's the spirit of our model, being a good neighbor, a valued part of the community. We've also gone beyond that and retained a local community leader. Some of you may already know him, Ryan McCullum. I've been working with him for several months in some of our other locations as well. But we're leaning on Ryan to facilitate the community outreach. help us identify meaningful causes that we can support within the community that will have a positive impact. It's already got a couple identified to date, and hopefully they won't have a problem accepting support, albeit in the form of financial capital donations and even human capital. We'll be providing a policy for the staff employees that they'll get paid time off for doing community service. So again, we want to be engaged in the community. That's my background. I formerly came out of another independent grocers, the IGA network, where it was family-owned grocers around the country. And the point of difference that made a difference was being the center of the community and a good neighbor. And that's ultimately our goal. That's all we have for the moment. And I hope I didn't run over. I'm not sure how much time I took, but we do appreciate, we're grateful for the opportunity. We're excited about the opportunity. And again, we want nothing more than to be the best neighbor in all of Springfield, contribute to the community, and keep our finger on the pulse of everything going on there.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, gentlemen.
Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
All right. We'll return you guys to the attendee status and we'll bring on the next group. Next is Origins Investment. James. Got two of them, so we'll promote you now. All right. All right. James, are you with us?
Yes, I am here. Let me see if I could get up my screen.
And I see you're logged in twice. I don't know if someone else was joining.
Yeah, that's Sean Miller is our CEO.
Perfect.
I think. Let's see here. Can you see that? All right.
Yep. Screen share is on.
Great. And Sean, are you on with microphones on?
I am. Can you hear me okay?
Yep. Loud and clear.
I can.
Perfect.
All right, gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, I'll just give a real quick introduction. Thank you, first of all, for having us today. We sincerely appreciate your time. And I know that it's getting late out there and you guys are working some long hours. So we appreciate all your extra effort. As an introduction, my name is Sean Miller. I'm CEO of Origins Sale East, LLC, which is a Massachusetts-based cannabis company. I'm also the president and CEO of Origins Tech, which is a multi-state cannabis operator. I'm joined here today with James Rushing, our new business development manager, who's been overseeing this RFP process and working closely with the city and the community development and outreach organizations within Springfield. So James, I'll go ahead and let you take the next couple of slides and then I'll come in a little bit later here.
Sure. Hi. Thank you, Sean. And thank you to the city for hosting this presentation. This evening, Sean and I will briefly walk you through our plans for successful adult use cannabis retail location in the downtown area. Sean and I hope to quickly describe our unique location, detail our company, its management and business operations. We will address several public health and safety concerns before breaking down our employee, public, and product safety protocols and policies. We will conclude with detailing our comprehensive diversity and community outreach plans and programs. And we'll also be describing how we will be able to assist those interested in entering the cannabis industry as an industry leader. Our location description, can you see that location with the windows in the way? Is that better? Our location is at 1391 Main Street in downtown Springfield. We're looking at a first floor retail location at the corner of Harrison and Main, one of the busy intersections in the downtown area. We're looking at our entire facility being 4,500 square feet of retail space. 2,200 square feet of that is available for the sales floor that's visible to the customer. 2,300 square feet is the limited access area, and included in that, we're actually including a 1,000 square feet of space used for incubating local cannabis businesses in the future. We have a private entrance facing Main Street. This location was formerly the People's United Bank, which has been unoccupied for many, many years. And we're looking to bring business back to that location and to an area where there's an expected population growth. It is an easily accessible location for residents and workers in the area. And one of the few spots that is really close to both highways, transit, and parking. We're within 1 mile of 3 entranceways for the highway, once on 91 at Union Street, and then one at Chestnut Street, entrance and exit on the highway. And then we have just walking distance away is the entrance to the Memorial Bridge and on its way to West Springfield. It's close to transit. At this location, we have more sites within 1,000-foot radius of public transit sites than anywhere else in Springfield. And despite its downtown location, there is ample parking throughout the entire area. Even just 200 to 500 feet away, there's about 1,000 spots of parking. That includes at the Hillman Street parking, 300 public parking spots within 200 feet. Just outside of the entrance, within 500 feet of our location, there's over 100 metered street parking spots. And then as part of our attempt to mitigate any issues or negative impacts to the city as far as traffic, we do have 75 available validated parking spots for qualifying customers just 500 feet away at the Pro Park America parking garage at Court Street and Main.
Excellent. Thank you, James.
Yeah, no worries.
Just a little bit of background on origins. As I stated in the opening remark, we are a multi-state operator. We currently operate in Washington State, in Oklahoma, and in Maine. Massachusetts is a state that we've been very interested in for a long time. One of my first businesses was actually in Boston, Massachusetts. I was at 354 Congress Street in the financial district, and unfortunately, the buildings aren't there anymore. It's all grown up, and things have changed since I was out there. But Boston and Massachusetts in general is near and dear to my heart. So we wanted to make sure we can get back out there and bring some of the learning that we've had in other parts of the country and be able to bring them to the Massachusetts market, and particularly the Springfield market. So we do operate retail. So we currently have 10 licenses across the U.S. We also have cultivation and manufacturing facilities. We're working on a cultivation facility currently now in Massachusetts that we'd be looking to license in a similar fashion to what we're looking for here in Springfield. In addition to that, I think one of the big unique factors that we bring to the market is our software system. We've built out a full ERP system and a recommendation engine for consumers. And this is something that we really saw a need in the market as new entrants into the market, which we are kind of calling the canna-curious crowd, are a little hesitant to come into a cannabis establishment, not knowing the questions to ask, not knowing the product itself. What we've been able to do is using artificial intelligence and the data provided from the customers themselves, be able to make relevant recommendations on products that are going to be able to match what they're looking for. And the potency and strength that they're looking for, rather than taking a cannabis guide or a bud tender's recommendations. And so this is something that we've had being built for the last 5 years. It's fully operational in our 10 locations. And we've had tremendous success with that. And it's been something that our customers have greatly appreciated. So we're really looking forward to being able to bring that to the Springfield area to not only show that we can be a first-class establishment from an aesthetics and professional perspective, but we can also bring a level of sophistication from a technology side that can really stand above and beyond what others are doing in the market. Right now, as an ownership, it's the same group that started 11 years ago when we first started. We have 4 founders. I'm really proud to say that we've been able to stick together for 11 years, which is really unusual in this market with all the ups and downs. We are a cash flow positive operator, which again, I believe does provide some uniqueness, and it really just speaks to our ability to be very efficient with our operations. We are 100% self-funded. So again, unlike a lot of the operators, we're not relying on outside investors to bring capital in to allow us to do build-outs. It's something that we've been able to grow over time just by being very careful with the decisions that we make and the steps that we take. We currently have about 200 employees nationwide. We'd be looking to add initially about 20 employees in the Springfield location and hiring locally, of course, and James will hit on that a little bit more. We also qualify for minority-owned business by the U.S. Small Business Administration, as we are majority minority-owned. I would also like to point that our individual that will be running all of Massachusetts is a female immigrant that's been in the States for about 15 years. She's done a phenomenal job building up her reputation and also just her experience level. We're really, really excited to have her. She actually manages 3 businesses in Springfield right now and would be coming over and running our organization full time as a local resident. As far as the org chart, it's fairly simple. I think that the biggest benefit here is if you look at Seth Bailey, myself, Seth being the chief financial officer, MBA from Utah University. He was also voted 40 under 40 for the West Coast for most prominent entrepreneurs. Don Bailey has over 40 years experience in the marketing and advertising and operational roles. He's worked for and run some of the largest advertising firms worldwide. Some to name would be McCann Erickson, DSW, some of the major players that we're able to bring Intel and Microsoft and Nike to the forefront. So we're excited to have him on board also. And then from there, we will have a full dedicated staff of local individuals that we'll be looking to bring in and hire and train and continue to invest in the community from that perspective. As far as what we believe that we'll be able to bring to Springfield, one of the biggest questions that we get from cities is, how are you going to benefit what we're doing here within, our jurisdiction? And as we looked at projected revenue, and this is really based on population based on projected number of consumers, average cart size, and then kind of rounding to some basic figures to make it easy for everyone to consume. We anticipate that we'll be able to inject about $2 million a year back into the city and state through the city and state tax plans. That will obviously not include things like employment and insurance and employment taxes and things of that nature that also feed back into the city. As I had mentioned before, we'd be hiring a minimum of 20 local employees and managers. And really this is just predicated on how many individuals will we need to constitute running the business successfully. And what we've seen with most locations is we're anywhere from 20 to 40, depending on volume. And as we look at Springfield, we believe that Springfield could be a very high volume opportunity, especially with the location that we've selected. But we're trying to be as reasonable and simple as possible when we make some of these projections. Additionally, we're looking at about a 1.75 million in additional economic benefit to the local jurisdictions there in the form of using local construction trades and the employment that we'll be able to add over the next year.
Thanks, Sean. I'm going to detail a little bit about management and business operations and recognizing that at Origins, our employees are our biggest asset. Our employee pay range goes from starting at $25 an hour, reaching as high as $40 an hour for management. which far exceeds retail wages average in Springfield. After 60 days of employment, all employees are offered a generous employee benefits package. This benefits package qualifies employees to be offered medical, dental, vision, life insurance policies, as well as workman's comp, and an employee assistance program that can aid the employees and their families with personal or work-related, legal, financial, drug or alcohol or mental health concerns at no cost. We would like to take care of our employees and their health. The benefits include a $1,500 per employee per year stipend for continuing education and training. We also offer a 401k with 100% matching for employee contributions. And we have paid holidays, paid time off with work credit. And we do also recognize that there's other forms of work leave, including jury duty, but of course, military leave, bereavement, and family and medical leave, which also includes 12 work weeks for maternity and paternity care. We are an equal opportunity employer and compliant with all ADA standards. Our workplace standards are extremely well respected in the industry, and our standards promote substance over form and make Origin stand out from less experienced cannabis companies. Included in our RFP is our detailed and comprehensive employee handbook as well, which clarifies and defines each employee's position, their policies, and helps the employees navigate the overwhelming transition to becoming an Origins employee. We have policies for hiring within our company and helping our employees advance in the placement throughout their training. We have incentivized management, and we also provide guidance to each member of our team individually as they express their interest in advancing throughout the company. Origins insists on creating a work environment that's free of harassment, and we have a zero tolerance workplace violence policy that ensures our operation is safe for anybody that encounters our brand.
Yeah. And James, if you want to go back to that slide, I was just going to add one more thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that is really important is when you look at a reputation of the company is it's one thing for the company to tell you that they're great, because everyone will do that. I mean, you expect them to. If they don't, then there's probably something wrong. But one very easy way to kind of gauge the level of expertise and level of service that they provide to their customers is their online reviews. And one of the things that we're really proud about is with every operational store that we have functioning today, we have over 1,000 online reviews, and we average a 4.9 out of 5, which as I've done some research and I've had my marketing group do some research, we haven't found another multi-state operator or even in-state operator that can claim those same type of reviews. So I would encourage you guys just to potentially look at that as you're looking at who you want to bring in and trying to evaluate that. It really comes down to what they're able to offer to the customers, and is it what the customers are wanting, which is ultimately what's going to drive tax dollars for the state. In addition to that, we've built out a full LMS system, which is an online learning platform to help facilitate the learning of our systems, our processes, our safety procedures, our operational procedures. And this is something that is unique again in the market. Instead of just handing someone a binder saying, here's how you do what you do, we actually have an interactive online system that was designed and built by our organization that allows us to bring people that are not from the cannabis space, because ultimately we don't want to hire people from the cannabis space. We want to be able to create jobs for individuals that are either looking to change profession, they're looking for something different, they're excited about the industry, but probably haven't participated in cannabis before. And so we need to be able to bring them up to speed and to ensure that they can provide the level of support that the customers require, which is what our online learning platform can do. Go ahead, James. Above and beyond that, as we look at our employees and how we're treating our employees and how we can give back to the city and state, one of the things that we really believe in is aesthetics. A lot of the research that's been done has shown that there's inhibition around entering a cannabis store because it feels like a cannabis store. It looks like a cannabis store. It's dark, it's seedy, it's not light, it's not bright, it doesn't feel welcoming. And so one of the things that we did from the very beginning was we wanted to create a unique experience. And so we try and bring the locality into our locations. And so, for instance, as you're looking here, this is our Redmond, Washington store, and then one snippet from a Seattle store. But it's really bringing in the natural elements from the area to really highlight that we're there for the community. We're integrated in with the community. We're not bringing a brand that's going to try and change the community. We're trying to adapt to that community. And as far as a timeline for construction, as we look at Springfield's tough decisions on who they're going to allow to move forward in the process, our ideal would be that we're able to negotiate a host agreement with Springfield, which then we'll submit for the state application. We anticipate that that'll be in April, assuming that everything stays on track. Then from there in June, continue to work with planning and permitting. Construction would begin in August and hopefully opening in October of 2021.
Great, thanks. Talk a little bit about public health and safety, commitment to quality and compliance. Well, it's nice to say that Origin has several commitments to the city in this RFP already. We will commit to mitigating any adverse effects of our business selling adult use cannabis at 1391 Main Street. These commitments include a 100% local worker commitment, as Sean had mentioned, a social equity commitment, which I'll detail in the diversity plan, a security commitment to ensure the safety, which I'm sorry, a security commitment to ensure that the safety of everybody that enters the facility, and communication with law enforcement in an effort to prevent any children from accessing, possessing, or using any cannabis products, regardless of the source of that cannabis, whether it's us or somebody else in the industry or black market. We are committed to educating the public, the city, the commission, law enforcement about our compliance activities, our policies and procedures. And as I had stated, we are offering parking validation for qualifying customers to reduce the negative traffic effects. And we will work with cultivators, manufacturers, and other dispensaries and transporters in developing a incentivized product packaging recycling program to help reduce waste and litter. And I think it's important to note that we have an already existing company-wide safety and security policies that have been fine-tuned and have already been exercised at several of our cannabis retail facilities nationwide. These policies and procedures provide us with the opportunity to securely become operational very quickly and without compromising quality or safety. These field-tested policies include emergency management, workplace safety compliance, including CFR, FDA, and OSHA, CDC compliant COVID-19 policies, city and state sanitary and inspection codes and procedures, and odor mitigation through carbon filtration and phycel technologies. We also have policies focused on prevention of diversion, which I'll detail further on. We'll talk a little bit about the diversity plan that we have in place as a policy of our company. We do promote and encourage full participation in the industry. We have a commitment to have at least 50% of our management staff and contractors qualify as those who identify.
I hate to interrupt, but you're over your 15 minutes there.
Great.
How much time do you have to wrap it up?
I have one or two more slides. I should be able to wrap it up real quick.
All right.
Sorry about that.
A few more minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. We are going to obviously offer staffing positions to anybody on this list with qualifying minorities, individuals, and people with mental and physical disabilities. And it's definitely those that qualify as social equity applicants or economic empowerment. I definitely want to touch on our community outreach real fast. We have a policy of 10% of our annual profits being donated to the Springfield-based non-for-profit organizations. Also 8 hours of paid volunteer hours per month per employee, which equals 160 potential volunteer hours. And with with the Community Outreach and Development Volunteer Advisory Board, which is a group of individuals who will help us allocate and distribute funds and work hours into the community. Includes our advisory chairwoman, Allie Weissman from Springfield's Clinical Support Options, and then also advisory board vice chair Keishawn Sanders, who is part of the Follow My Steps Foundation. And then also we're going to have an incubator program as well. Like I said, 1,000 square feet of space available for qualifying cannabis incubator partners. They will receive full security, compliance, legal, and resource support from us, including operational capital as well as industry guidance. So we're looking forward to working with the CCC on that program. And thank you so much for having us. Sorry we went a couple minutes over, but I do appreciate you listening to our presentation, and we look forward to turning in our RFP next week.
Thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy. All right. We'll return you to the attendee status and we'll bring on the next group. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next group we have is DM Springfield LLC. It's Brian Shea. Let's see, Brian. See a Shea.
That's all I have is Brian Shea for DM. Is there anyone from DM? Can you raise your hand, please, or put something in the chat?
Chris Mitchell, I guess. Lisa. All right.
Hello there, can you hear me?
Yep, can hear you.
Awesome. All right, let me get the presentation open here and we can kick this off.
Perfect, excellent.
I'm going to share the screen too. All right, can you see the screen there?
Yep, we can see it.
All right, well, good evening. Thanks so much for your time. My name is Chris and I'm the CEO of DM Cannabis, and we are very excited to talk to you about the project we're cooking up here. We're the Eastfield Mall Group. We're proposing a cultivation and retail facility at the Eastfield Mall in the Macy's building. The Macy's building is a monster. It's 126,000 square feet. And we're looking to put $35 million into this project, which would make it one of the largest private investments in Springfield's history. One important thing to note is that the project is only going to work out financially if both cultivation and retail are allowed to happen at this facility. We're excited to create over 300 jobs, and these aren't just, run-of-the-mill minimum wage jobs. These are above minimum wage with great benefits, 401k, full health care, employee equity options, and preference given to Springfield residents. We've been working on this project for a long time. This is 2 years in the making. And so we're very, very excited to propose this to you tonight. I am the operator on this project, and I'm part of I've been selected by a minority and locally owned group led by Lois Celes Hernandez. And I feel very fortunate to be selected to be a part of this group. And I'm going to hand it off to Lois Celes to make some comments.
Hi, you hear me?
We can hear you, yep.
Okay. Hi, good evening. My name is Luis Celis Hernandez, and I'm happy to finally be front to you this evening. I'm a proud Latina businesswoman, and I would like to give you a summary of my background and qualification. I was born in Puerto Rico, graduated from Interamericana University, served as an assistant to the mayor of Añasco, Puerto Rico, and then moved to the great city of Springfield. Here, I met my husband, Paul, and together we worked hard to build our future, and currently own and operate several successful businesses in the city of Springfield. This project has been a long, difficult, and expensive process spanning 2 years. I would like to publicly thank the owner of Eastfield Mall for their patience and belief in me and this project. My long-term vision for a retail and cultivation license for the Eastfield Mall is a groundbreaking proposal that will create up to 300 good paying jobs for all our residents. Equally important is the economic opportunity for our minority community. In searching for the partner for this dynamic project, it became evident to me DM was the perfect fit, and together we will be the right choice for the city of Springfield. DM has extensive knowledge and experience in both retail and cultivation, an exceptional track record of inclusion. If chosen, we will be one of the largest minority-owned retail and cultivation sites in New England. With your support, together we will make history. Now, I would like to hand back to my partner, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. All right. Well, on top of being minority and locally owned, this project is also minority and locally secured. We are so pleased to welcome Edwin Arizari, a Springfield resident and Springfield homeowner, as our head of security for the project. Edwin is a retired Springfield police officer who was shot in the line of duty. He's also a military veteran, and he has high-level government security clearance. Edwin, it's very unique choice and an excellent choice for us because of his connection to the Springfield Police Department. A project of this scope and this nature requires close participation with the Springfield PD, and we plan to have a very close relationship with them via Edwin as we build this project out and as we operate it in the years to come, if we are lucky enough to be granted the permission from the city of Springfield to do that. How do I fit into this whole thing? So I'm the experienced operator that's coming in to help out with this project. And I'm so fortunate to be able to do that. My title is CEO of DM. My most important title in my life is father, and I have 2 beautiful kids, Miles and Lucy. You can see in a picture there in the lower left. They're everything to me. They're the reason I do this. We have 6 years of cannabis experience, and we are a family-owned company. No big corporate money here. We are retailers and cultivators from Oregon, and we also have 2 retail facilities in Massachusetts, in Worcester and Lynn. Public safety and regulatory compliance are critical to a project like this. We have an excellent track record in Oregon. I sit on the board for Oregon's cannabis regulator, and I earned that position by following the rules and being a responsible business citizen, shepherding in the legalization of cannabis. And I have an equally close relationship with the Cannabis Control Commission here in Massachusetts, which is a huge benefit to a project of this nature. Speed to market is a huge deal. Springfield has a limited amount of licenses that they can give out, and picking an experienced operator like us ensures that this project gets to market quickly so that Springfield can start making revenue off of it and that it gets to market safely. Don't have to necessarily take my word for it. A previous announcer said everyone thinks their cannabis company is the coolest. If you Google us, we've been really fortunate to be mentioned in a lot of news publications. This is a result of our engagement in the communities where we operate. We don't just come in, set up shop, and take off. I'm the CEO. I don't just get a license and leave. We make it a priority to engage in the community and to be a member of the business community that enriches it and gives back. And I think that's why we've been fortunate enough to be mentioned so often in the media. So we're known as retailers and cultivators. Here's a picture of our retail design for Oregon, which we're also mimicking for Massachusetts as well. We've won some awards. We've been very lucky to win some awards for this retail design. I think it's because it's modern, it's tasteful, it's inviting, it's welcoming, and it's different. It's not like the typical cannabis store. So we're very proud of that. Cultivation is an area that we have a ton of experience in. And it's a good thing because we're talking about 100,000 square feet of cultivation in this facility. We've been growing for 6 years now, and we come from a market in Oregon that is extremely competitive. So we've gotten good at growing profitably, making sure that this business stays as a going concern for the years to come. Massachusetts, the margins are going to get squeezed down as more competitors come into the space. It's important to operate your business well. We also use environmentally friendly practices, from electricity usage with LEDs and solar panels to making sure harsh chemicals and heavy metals aren't being reintroduced to the water supply. This is all things that we've been through for years, and we've gotten really good at risk mitigation. We're also very proud of our diversity track record. This was a key requirement for the Eastfield Mall Group to select us as their operator. We push hard for diversity within our organization. A lot of people can talk the talk, we walk the walk. We can point to our shop in Worcester as an example. 68% of our employee population there can be defined as diverse. Also, the vast majority of our employees in Worcester are from Worcester. Our tagline is "Cannabis is for everyone," and we take diversity very, very seriously. We didn't just come into Springfield yesterday. We've been working with the city of Springfield and excited about the city of Springfield for 3 years now. A couple of years ago, we were fortunate enough to be introduced to an amazing man named Officer Dean Fay. He started this nonprofit called Central City Boxing, and he basically helps at-risk youth, gets them engaged in athletic program, becomes a father figure to them, gives them a place to go after school, gives them an outlet for all of their youthful energy, feeds them dinner. He's just an amazing, amazing man. And, we weren't in line for a license or anything like that. We were just really pumped about Officer Fay and what he was doing. So we cut him a check for $10,000. And that was 2 years ago. That's how serious we are about the city of Springfield and how passionate we are about participating in the community. This is going to be an ongoing thing. That was not a one-time donation on our part. If we are fortunate enough to be awarded a license, we're going to create a community investment fund. And we're also going to make an annual financial pledge to our host neighborhood. And we're very excited about that prospect. For me as CEO, as the founder of DM, this is the most exciting thing about being in this business. It's the social mission, the ability to give back. It just really gets me going. I love it. All right, going back to the Eastfield Mall project here, we're talking about 100,000 square feet of cultivation. This will be one of the biggest cultivation facilities on the East Coast, one of the biggest in the United States. It's a huge undertaking. Retail, 2,500 square feet in compliance with city code, plenty of parking. It's a mall. There's 500 parking spaces dedicated to our property, with a lot more to rent if we need it. Some benefits to the city here to note. The Eastfield Mall is the third largest taxpayer in Springfield, and it's been a community staple for 50 years. Times are changing, we all know, with the rise of e-commerce and Amazon. Brick and mortar retail has felt some pain in this recent decade, and that was before COVID hit, which completely shut retail down. So the Eastfield Mall is no stranger to that pain. One of the benefits that we bring is breathing new life into the Springfield, into the Eastfield Mall, and ensuring that the mall thrives for years to come. And we're very excited about that. We've been engaging with community neighborhood councils, the Indian Orchards Citizens Council, 16 Acres Civic Association, the Pine Point Community Council, and the New North Citizens Council. We plan to make neighborhood councils continue to make them a part of the process as we build this out and as we operate in the years to come. We circulated a petition and we were fortunate to get 500 signatures from local business owners and local residents in the area around this project. And so, we're able to demonstrate that this has broad community support. People are excited about it. And, we're honored to be able to participate in a project that people are so excited about in the community. We were fortunate enough to get a positive vote from the planning board and city council to approve this building for cultivation. So we've already overcome a major hurdle there. We're approved. We can cultivate in this building. And that's it. I really appreciate all your time. We are really looking forward to the opportunity. I understand it's a tough decision-making process, and if we can help in any way, shoot me an email. My email is listed there. And I can tell you with certainty that if you give us the opportunity, we will not let you down. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll return your group to attendee status and we'll bring on the next group. Next up, we have 732 Cottage Street, LLC. We'll bring you on now. You just had Steve, right?
Steve.
Three times. Trace. And Steve. All right. See, Steve is on 3 times here. Are you with us?
Okay, hello. 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 Thank you. Okay. All right. We have video. It's issues here. Video should be on. Thank you.
All right.
Pardon our small delay there.
No problem. The floor is yours.
Thank you. I believe first up from our team is Debbie Goldsberry, if she's ready.
I am ready. Thank you for letting us be here today. My name is Debbie Goldsberry. I'm a cannabis retail expert. I got involved in the effort to change the marijuana laws back in 1986, and I opened my first dispensary, Berkeley Patients Group, in 1999. It's the oldest running dispensary in America. And I ran that place for 10 years. I left Berkeley Patients Group after the 10-year period because I really wanted to support mom and pop companies, smaller companies that just needed help to survive in an increasingly competitive marketplace. Right now, I own 2 of my own dispensaries in California. They're both small mom and pop companies. I am an entrepreneur myself. I have one in Berkeley called High Fidelity and another dispensary in Oakland. I am a small business consultant in the retail cannabis space, and I've helped people open their dispensaries in Illinois, Missouri, Maryland, Oregon, Oklahoma, and I have a project in Nevada and several in California. I wrote a book starting and running a marijuana business in order to help small business entrepreneurs get ahead. It's really just step by step, everything from finding your founders to incorporating your company to getting your dispensary open, marketing it, and becoming profitable and giving back to the community. I met Michelle and Michael Morozynski about 2 years ago, and they were working to open a dispensary here in Springfield. They have a beautiful building that they own. And over the last year, we've been working on developing standard operating procedures for their facility in a number of different categories, which we'll talk about throughout this presentation. I was also a regulatory commissioner on the Oakland Regulatory Commission, helping to create and supervise the rollout of the legal cannabis industry here in Oakland. I've retired that position. Throughout our presentation, we'll tell you about how we are a mission, vision, and values-based company. Everything we do is based on our mission and our intentions within our community. We have a beautiful building and great ideas on how we're going to design and construct it. We're experts in cannabis safety, in retail safety in particular. We have more than 100 standard operating procedures that we'll tell you about. And And we're equity. The company is majority owned by Michelle Mrowzinski, and she is an African-American woman, a publicist, a trained small business entrepreneur, and she is ready. So I think with that, I would like to turn it over to Stephen to start the rest of the presentation.
Thank you, Debbie. Okay. Let's see, am I on here, please?
Yes.
Yes, you're on.
Back to the right screen, one moment, thank you. Okay, excuse me. All right, so that's one of our first points. Oh, see, we are an equity-owned company, and basically we are mom and pop. We do have a toddler who's here now. Excuse me. So we guide our company based on ethics, and that's our main guiding principles. It's all about honesty and being forthright, and it's obvious from my wife, who's the majority owner of the company, and it's not she's not a figurehead, she's the boss. Believe me, all the way. It's not some contract where she doesn't have a say. No, it's actually an African woman owned company, which I believe would be definitely one of the first would be the first in Springfield, one of the first in Massachusetts, if not one of the first African American woman owned dispensaries in the entire United States, maybe even the world. So I think that's really valuable to us. Michelle is definitely interested in hiring, first of all, 100% from Springfield, first of all. Also, she's interested in hiring a lot of women, and of course, we want to hire a lot of minorities. We're not going to hire just 50% minorities. We're going to go for as many as we can. We really do believe in equity. We're basically living it. So over the past couple of years, we've made close relationships with the neighborhood councils, especially the Stone Soul nonprofit group, which is run by Jay Griffin. We have supported their festival a couple years ago. It was canceled last year because of the pandemic, and we've already committed to like what, $10,000 to bring a carnival next year, and $17,000 towards the band a couple years ago. We love to support the festival and the town where we can. Stone Soul's been a great group to work with for us. One moment. One thing about our location, the reason we picked our building is because it's in an industrial zone. We have all the zoning that we need. We're more than 300 feet away from other companies and all the requirements. I believe it's A1 industrial, I believe. It's away from downtown, so we're not adding nuisance traffic to downtown, which already has enough traffic. And so we're out of the way. And we, of course, plan on being good neighbors. We are already forging relationships with our neighbors, which is like Grangers and UPS. The site plan is done by a local architect, of course. All the work we've had has been local. Levesque is a local architect, and if he was here to speak, he would talk about how we meet all the requirements for the site plan. It's a perfect site for a retail location. While I'm on that point, I'll mention about our traffic study we've had done. I don't know how many people have had their traffic studies done, but ours is complete and ready to be handed in next week. And we're ready to face any issues. If there needs to be a light added, we're willing to pay for that light on the corner if necessary. It doesn't seem to be that way now, but if that's
The
necessary.
bus company is already taking care of the light. The one that's across the street.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's one of our neighbors is a bus depot. So that's something I mentioned. We're far away from all the residences. We're not near any residential neighborhood or people or houses with residences at all. Let's see, next here. Oh, so excuse me. Okay, so security, another paramount point. As we have on the screen here, you'll see about American Alarm Company. That's our local security company. First, I'll mention them, and then the people who provide our security plan next. American Alarm Company is amazing. They're a second generation Northeast Alarm Company. They own and operate their own, what's that called? Their own tower, basically. They have their own, tower, and I forget, it escapes me right now, excuse me, the name of the tower they have for their own security. At this point, they secure that is 70 plus cannabis businesses and locations in the Northeast already. A couple years ago, it was 40, now they're over 70. And they've never had any incidents, any diversion, any robberies, no problems with every place they secure. The person who we got our security plans from is called Opposite Security. That guy is amazing. His experience comes from securing nuclear missile silos. So he's been indispensable. He's actually showing us how to harden our location. And I really don't want to get too much more into security other than that, but he's top notch for sure. Let's see, further down the list. So we're a balance of out-of-state experience and locally owned and operated. We don't live in Massachusetts as of now. We live in Long Island, New York. However, we are committed to moving to Massachusetts when we get our license. We figure as small business owners, we have to be there every day for the first 6 months. We have to be there till we even take a day off. So we plan on getting a house in Springfield locally. We actually are looking forward to that very much. So about our company and security, we have about 100 standard operating procedures already. We've had fantastic resources to reach out to. I won't be name dropping, but I'll leave that at that. Let's see, ethics. Ethics is really a huge thing to me. That's really how I run my life. Everything I do is based on ethics. As a licensed healthcare professional, it's all about ethics. I was raised with ethics in my household. So every decision, every move we make is based on ethics and being forthright and having upstanding energy and forthright energy. Let's see, next, talk a little bit about, I think at this point, I'll throw it back to Debbie for a little bit before she throws it back to Michelle, I guess. Thank you.
All right. Do you mind? I don't know who's running the slides. Can we go back up to that second slide?
Michelle Mitchell's running the slides.
Perfect. Great. Our team is hands down super experienced. Both Michelle and Stephen are small business entrepreneurs. They've owned their own businesses. They have run successful businesses. The company is funded by their own money. They own the building and they're bringing all the money to the table. Stephen is a licensed health professional. He's an acupuncturist with a long history of following rules and regulations when it comes to safety and compliance. And Michelle is a master marketer. Not only has she run her own consulting business, but she helps other people make their companies excellent. She has a long history of promotions, and we are positive with her as the CEO, this company is going to fly. But they did bring in two experts, me and Sean Black, our chief compliance officer. Sean comes from a background of a cannabis background also. He's a seasoned professional. He's a writer with High Times Magazine, and he ran their High Times Cannabis Cup events, which are licensed cannabis events in different communities that allow cannabis events. And in order to have a licensed cannabis event, they're a very high bar for compliance when it comes to safety, security, sales, odor control. And Sean did a great job running those things for a number of years. So he's going to be running compliance for us. And of course, we have backing us up local security that we already talked about. Can we go to slide 3? Sorry, Michelle. We really are a mission-based company, and not only are we majority owned by an African-American woman, but it is our mission to support social equity and financial equity in the city of Springfield. That's what we're all about. It's not a side note for us. It is the number one thing that we're doing. Not only are we owned by equity, but we're supportive of equity. And you'll see, I'll tell you about a number of different programs we're running to support the equity community within the cannabis industry. and in Springfield. Our mission is to set up a company that other people can follow, because like Stephen said, there are almost no women of color that own medical marijuana or marijuana businesses across the US. Michelle will be one of a kind, running a stellar company, training and mentoring other people so that we can end this. We need to get women of color into leadership positions, and this is our opportunity here. So everything we do will be based on these mission, vision, and values. Michelle, did you want to say anything about the mission, vision, values? You have to unmute, I think.
Pardon me. Okay, part of our mission is to provide childcare for our employees, because especially with coronavirus, a lot of women have been out of the workforce, and we want to help women be empowered and get back into that workforce. And same thing with men, families. So we're going to be offering help with childcare and also transportation when we do the training, and with the training for when we do the education for the neighborhood. So there will be no barriers for our employees to be able to come to work every day with not any issues. They don't have to worry about their child. They're going to concentrate, on work and improving themselves. And we're also, I plan on having financial people come in and help our employees navigate their 401ks. And also just, everyone needs help with finance every once in a while, their personal finances, to do budget and all that, so they could achieve their goals and possibly open their own business, when, God willing. And God willing, if we're lucky enough for Springfield to choose us. We've been coming to Springfield for over 3 years, and a little bit more than that. And we've stayed there. We've been looking for houses, but because of the coronavirus pandemic, we had to put that on pause. And already we've spent so much money in Springfield. Like, we just got a roof repaired for over $2,000 from a local company. Our plumber is around the corner, and he's winterized our building. He's come in to put in a new water heater and other repairs that we had. And we also secured the door company that's around the corner. We had to replace a door, and we had a doggy door to be replaced and some other issues, and they help with that. And we have a local landscaping company that cuts our grass, a lawn, starting in, I think, probably May or June, all the way until November, once a week, or sometimes every other week. And they also provide our snow removal, which is like, Massachusetts weathers is pretty hefty, and we do the whole parking lot, plus our driveway, because our neighbor, we let them use our driveway. So it's over probably like $3,000 a season to do that. And like Stephen mentioned, one of our big companies that we love, charities that we, that are close to our heart, that we love working with, is the Stone Soul Music Festival. And since I've worked with the music industry, I had connections. I was able to get a good band last time, even though like the other bands are excellent, especially on jazz night. And we were able to get more people to come this time, which was excellent, because when you come to Soul Stole, it's all complimentary. And plus, the census people were there, signing up people for census, and also signing up people if they wanted to be census workers. The healthcare people were there, offering healthcare for seniors and also for anybody that wanted to sign up. And we also had the police department was there, with the community and doing security. And also voter registration were there. So everybody that came was able to sign up and vote, and had an amazing picnic that was offered. Every day was something, it was a different fare. And the last day was incredible barbecue. So it was like a great family picnic, and everybody was there. It was a great time. It's one of our favorite times, and we love the education that they're providing for the teens about Black history and Springfield history, and also about really amazing good live music. So we enjoy being patrons of the arts in that way. And with all of our experience, we're going to be excellent. I've been getting trained by Debbie, besides, on the cannabis side. And also I have amazing retail, and I've run a bar and restaurant. So I know, and I know about hospitality is one of my fortes. And this is basically hospitality with little retail. So I always study and I know my clientele that I'm going to be servicing to. And we're going to make our business very welcoming. So everybody will want to come and check it out, because cannabis is an amazing thing to do. It's healthy. It just makes life better for, so many people.
Michelle, could you drop us onto slide 5?
Oh, and I want to throw back to Debbie, and I wanted to thank everyone for inviting us tonight, to giving us the opportunity to share our business and give us our opportunity to possibly open an amazing business in Springfield and to create many jobs and a lot of income for Springfield. Oh, and I wanted to also mention that our other business that's across the street, our neighbor at our business, is the bus depot, and they've already made improvements that when we had our last community outreach meeting, which is 2 years ago, that we're concerned about the lights, and also they're going to be putting in a light. I don't know if it's there already, but they were working on it. And they're also going to be putting in a bike path, as well as new sidewalks, for their surrounding area. And we will benefit from that, being such great neighbors. Thank
I was
you.
there-
and good
I'll
night.
just add, I was there last week and the light is not there yet. That's all. Back to Debbie.
I just want to say, you can tell that this is a company with a lot of heart, and we are obviously mission-based, and we're enthusiastic about this. We know how to do it, but more than that, that's the top line.
Over 15 minutes, so.
Oh, that's it, huh? Okay.
Just wrap it up real quick. I'll give you
Sure.
a few more
I'll
seconds.
just skip through. On this slide, you can see that we're really driven by procedures. We're a procedural company. We know how to operate the company. We have step-by-step procedures for public safety and security in all these different categories. On slide 6, we don't really have time to discuss really this, but you can also see that we're going to be a profitable company. We start to become profitable in year 1. Also, we are not beholden to any shareholders. And we have created 100 individual standard operating procedures on how to run this thing start to finish in a number of different categories. We predict $900,000 in tax benefits coming to the community, in addition to construction, our staff costs, our professional services, and our nonprofit giving. On slide 8, I guess we just want to say we really think that we are a great team for the job. We're experienced, dedicated, motivated, mission, vision, values based. We're well funded. We've got our location. We're experts in this stuff. We know how to do it inside and out. We're focused on the community and giving back. We can troubleshoot, we can solve problems. And not only are we equity and diversity focused, we are equity and we are diverse and we are ready to serve. So on the last slide, there's our contact info and you know where to reach us. We are ready for this. And thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to return you to attendee status and we'll bring on the next group. Thank you. The next group we have.
Thank you.
Relax MD. That is Richard. Remember correctly. Where did you go, Richard? We lost Richard. He was there. Great.
I saw him earlier. Do we have anyone from Relax MD? The only name we have on record is Richard.
We get up. There we go. There he is. We found you. All right, we're going to bring you on now. Thank you. All right.
Okay, good evening. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Richard. There you go. Anyone else from your group?
No, it'll just be me today.
All righty, the floor is yours.
All right, perfect. So first, before I got started, I wanted to thank all the representatives from the city of Springfield for allowing us this opportunity as MEs to present to you guys. I know that during a pandemic, it's got to be extremely difficult to try to put something like this together. So I appreciate you guys putting it together for us. Secondly, I'd like to take the time out to thank you personally for giving me the 15 minutes to talk about me and my organization. We really look forward to presenting to you guys. So without further ado, I'll share my screen and start the presentation. Are you guys able to see my screen?
It's loading now.
Yep.
And there we go, we got it.
Perfect. Okay. So again, my name is Richard Laguerre. I'm the CEO of Relax MD. So give me a second because this slideshow. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm having technical difficulties with the slideshow. So who are we? We're Relax MD, right? What do? We're a premier marijuana dispensary in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which allows both medical and recreational clients to reserve products online and pick up products at scheduled appointments or have the products delivered directly to their homes. So that's a lot of information there in that sentence. So I want to unpack that a little bit. So what are we? A marijuana dispensary. And what's a marijuana dispensary at its core? A marijuana dispensary at its core is a retail store. So what do? We buy marijuana products at wholesale and sell them to our clients at retail value. Who are our clients? We service both medical and recreational clients. How do we interact with our clients? Our clients go online to our website, they reserve our products, and through our consultants, they can discuss the products with our consultants either through chat or through a phone call or a screen share, and they can make an educated decision based on the conversations that they've had with our consultants if need be. Every one of our clients will get a dedicated consultant so that they'll be able to work through our product offerings and make the most educated decision that they can possibly make. Now, how, after they've made those purchases online or reserved those products online, how are they able to receive those products? Well, they're able to come to our location at scheduled appointments. Now, it's important that we say scheduled appointments because all of our pickups will be scheduled appointments. There will be no walk-ins. The reason why we do that is because we want to control the traffic. We want to know who's coming into our dispensary prior to them arriving. And we want to be able to know exactly how much product we need to have on hand. That allows us to do that by having those scheduled appointments. The other option our clients have is to have their products delivered directly to their homes. Obviously, with the expansion of the CCC and allowing delivery to home and the licenses of deliveries to home, we're going to take advantage of that and offer that to our clients as well so that they have that option. Very easy, very convenient. Now, every organization starts off to solve a problem. There's a problem that they're trying to resolve. So what's the problem that we're trying to resolve here at Relax MD? Well, the problem is that people of Springfield need to be able to purchase marijuana products in an easy, convenient, and affordable way. Now that seems like a simple endeavor, but there are some roadblocks to that. And I've talked to the people of Springfield, and here's some of the things that I've heard. So limited dispensary options. There's no dispensaries in their neighborhood. The dispensaries that they have to go to, they need to travel to find those dispensaries. And as they try to siphon through the dispensaries in these other areas, they're finding that some of these dispensaries are medical only. They only service medical clients. So that's not making it easy for them. They're looking for these dispensaries that aren't in their neighborhoods. And when they do find dispensaries, they're not able to purchase from these dispensaries. Another thing that I'm hearing is brand recognition. The people of Springfield are unsure of the history of the dispensaries that they're going to. They're unsure of the source of their products, and they're unsure of the reputation of the dispensaries that they're going to. They feel like they're buying blindly. Customer service. Once they get to the dispensaries and are ready to purchase, they're finding that the employees have little to no knowledge about the marijuana products that they're selling or about marijuana in general. leaving it up to the clients to really search for information. They're doing internet searches for information to try to find out about these products. Again, not easy, not convenient. And then you have to think about it from the client perspective. We come to our last item, price. So as a client, as I've taken the time to sort of identify the dispensaries and travel to dispensaries that aren't in my neighborhood and weeded through the ones that will serve me that aren't medical only, I've gotten there and I've had bad customer service. And then at the end of it, from my prize, what I get is what feels like price gouging. So price is a big issue for them. So you got to think to yourself, for RelaxMD, what's our solution? What do we bring to the table to try to address some of those problems? One, we plan to be local. We're going to have a brick and mortar location in the heart of Springfield that'll be accessible to several neighborhoods, not just one, several neighborhoods. We're going to become an integral partner with the communities that we serve. And we're also going to hire within the communities that we serve. What else do we bring to the table? Consultation. All of our client-facing employees will receive a rigorous training of 2 weeks to 1 month prior to any interaction with our clients. They will become industry experts on our products and marijuana in general. And at the end of their training, they will need to pass a test so that we can certify them as consultants. Now, all of that is going to happen prior to any interaction with any of our clients. Our consultants are going to be one text message or one phone call away. They're going to guide all of our clients through this entire process. Another one of our solutions is variety in products. We will serve a diverse client. We're going to serve a diverse client base. We're going to serve medical and recreational clients. Because our client base is going to be diverse, our product offering has to be diverse in order to meet that client need. So what we're going to do is we're going to have multiple brand options in flowers, edibles, carts, disposable pens, and pre-rolls. In essence, what we're aiming to do is if there's a client that comes to our dispensary that wants a product and we don't have it, it's not a product that exists. We're going to have all of the right products for all of our clientele. And not only that, we will let our clientele drive the product offerings that we bring to the table. So there will be interactions between our clients and their dedicated consultants that'll tell them the types of products that they look, so that we can look for those products and bring them to our dispensary, giving our clients an in to the products that we offer. Another one of our solutions to make things easy for our clients is our easy online reservation. And then our product receipt. We discussed that a little bit. But our online menu is going to be user-friendly. It's going to provide a 3D image of all of our products, along with crucial information about the products, ensuring that our clients are making the most informed decisions prior to purchase. So not only will we have our consultants that will guide our clients throughout this process, but the website itself will be user-friendly. You'll be able to access all of our products. You'll be able to see all of our products, and it'll give you all of the proper information about our products for you to make a really educated decision as a consumer. Best in market prices and customer loyalty programs. We're going to bring best in market prices. So once clients reserve the products online, they'll have the convenient option, as we discussed, to pick up at our location at scheduled appointments or have it delivered directly to their homes. Now, not only that, what we will set up is a customer loyalty program. So as our customers and our clients purchase with us, there'll be a loyalty program which they would benefit from because of that, those purchases that they've made. So we've talked about sort of who we are, what we do, and some of the problems and the solutions that we plan to implement. What we really haven't talked about is what's at the core, what's at the heart of RelaxMD. So what are some of our core values? Some of our core values is client satisfaction and client service. We are nothing, and I repeat, nothing without our clients. Now, we're fully dedicated to provide our clients with top shelf service. How do we give them that? We talked about it, the robust training program for all of our client-facing employees. We monitor and preserve all communications with our clients. So I've talked about it. There'll be text messages that our clients will be providing to our consultants. What that monitoring and the preservation of those communications allows us to do is address client service issues in near real time. So if we see that a conversation is not, or a client request is not being satisfied accordingly, a supervisor can jump in and address that issue in near real time. It satisfies our data preservation for legal compliance because all of that data would be preserved. And it allows us to audit communications to serve as learning experiences. So our client-facing team will be meeting weekly to leverage the experiences of all of our consultants. So as our consultants have experiences with our clients, our weekly meetings will allow for all of the consultants to leverage the experience of each consultant so that we're all getting the benefit. What's at our core is community outreach as well. We are 100% dedicated to working with the community and specifically disenfranchised communities that have been disproportionately impacted by the former marijuana laws. Now, I want to make this a little bit personal as I get into this. So I'm from a disenfranchised neighborhood, born and raised. And in 1996, I attended Howard University in Washington, D.C., and subsequently graduated in 2000. That experience truly changed me. It showed me that given the opportunity and a path to success, that even from a disenfranchised neighborhood, that you could be very, very successful. And that's what's at the core of our community outreach, is giving people that are in disenfranchised neighborhoods the opportunity and access to success. That's what we do. That's our community outreach. And I'll detail the specifics of what we're doing in our binders as I turn them in next week for the RFQ. I've met, in terms of community outreach, I've met with the neighborhood counselors for the neighborhood that I'm looking to bring my location in, and several of the adjacent neighborhoods, because I wanted to make sure that not only the neighborhood that I was in, but the adjacent neighborhoods felt comfortable with a potential dispensary establishment in their neighborhood. I've also had meetings with the ward counselor as well. And then the last item that's at our core is just marijuana education and activism. Now, we're truly dedicated to educating the public about the benefits of marijuana and really dismantling the negative persona of marijuana as a gateway drug, or the persona of the perpetual lazy pothead. Our company is really here to educate the public about the benefits of marijuana, and not only that, but also to show them that, it's something that is here, it's something that's in your neighborhood, it's safe, and we're here to kind of guide you through that process. Because we understand our greatest tool is information, and that's the information that we use to train our employees, and that's the information that we disseminate not only on our website, but the blogs and the free webinars that we provide. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to really tell you about how excited I am about the potential of opening a dispensary in Springfield, Massachusetts. I look forward to going through this RFQ process with you guys. And again, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share this information with you.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we'll return you to attendee status.
Thank you. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thank you again. All right. Next up, I believe, and the final one for tonight is Tree and Brick. And I will bring you on now. So yeah, there we are. Oh, perfect. Thank you for raising your hand. Makes it a lot easier. And one more. I think we got everyone.
There should be a total of 3.
3? Yep. You brought 3? Just 3?
Yes, just 3.
All right. I think we got them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to start the presentation. Please let me know when you can see it.
Yep. You are on the board. The floor is yours. Begin.
Okay, wonderful. Well, good evening, and thank you so much for allowing Tree and Brick the opportunity to present tonight. To introduce myself, my name is Peyton Shubrick, and not only am I CEO and founder of 6 Bricks LLC, but I have the distinct pleasure of being the president for Tree and Brick. Tonight, I have with me Taylor Shubrick as well as Jossie Sellers as we propose Tree and Brick here in the city of Springfield by detailing the importance it can have to the city of Springfield, not only with jobs and revenue, but the model that will become the future for the cannabis industry. I'll now pass it over to Taylor Shubrick so she can introduce herself.
Thank you for that introduction, Peyton. Good evening, everyone. My name is Taylor Shubrick, and I am CEO and co-founder of Tree and Brick, the sister company to Six Bricks. I am currently a senior at Springfield College, where I study criminal justice and a minor in psychology, and will be graduating this May. While going to school, I have also been working at a local dispensary, Mass Alternative Care, located in Chicopee. Over the last year and 7 months of being there, I have learned how to dispense both medically and recreationally. After a year of just being there, I became a trainer where I train new employees working at the dispensary, and now I currently work as an inventory specialist where I oversee the receiving, storing, and distribution of products. My time at Mass Alternative Care has taught me how to educate and provide products to customers, give formal orientations, and understand the inventory side of dispensaries. Working in a dispensary has increased my passion for this industry, as I've seen firsthand the benefits of both the adult use and medical side. I plan to translate my experience and knowledge to help Tree and Brick be the best delivery service it can be.
Thank you, Taylor. We'll now pass it over to Jossie Sellers so he can introduce himself.
Thank you, Peyton. I'm Jossie Sellers. I'm the co-founder and COO of Tree and Brick. I'm a graduate of the first cohort of the Cannabis Control Commission Social Equity Program. I'm also the founder of Treevit LLC, based in Avalon, Massachusetts, which received the first provisional cannabis courier license from the CCC. This is an opportunity we're incredibly grateful for, just to be able to build a platform to give back some jobs. We're all kids from the city of Springfield. I actually used to deliver newspapers for the Republican back when it was the Union News. So this is something we're extremely excited about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jossie. I'd also like to take a moment to introduce our head of security, John Delaney. He is a 37-year veteran of the Springfield Police Department, a lifelong resident of Springfield, as well as a professor at AIC. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us tonight because he's in a board meeting for Sabbath Charter School. Also, we'll have Fred Shubrick serving as our head of transportation. He has over 20 years of experience in the transportation industry, as well as a 30-plus year resident of the city of Springfield, and brings a wealth of knowledge as we think about the logistics of having a delivery company. And to further introduce myself, I was born and raised here in the city of Springfield, and I currently serve on multiple nonprofits, as well as also teaching at AIC and the Cannabis Graduate Course based on my experience of opening a retail establishment here in the city of Springfield. So as we think about Tree and Brick, it really is an interesting story of how it came to be. It's a combination of Treevit, the company that Jossie is the CEO and founder of, and Six Bricks, the company that I'm the CEO and founder of. It was really through Taylor's leadership that she identified the opportunity to bring these two groups together, and in honoring both, name a company called Tree and Brick. With over 118 retail establishments within the state of Massachusetts, Tree and Brick will be a unique opportunity for us to have a delivery company here in the city of Springfield, but not any delivery company, a wholesaler delivery, which allows us to provide cost-effective price points for customers and progress into a meaningful subscription model for not only the city of Springfield, but also surrounding communities. It should be noted that the delivery license is truly unique because it's a 3-year exclusivity window for social equity and economic empowerment applicants. As well, because of the way in which the license is structured, it is not limited to only the city or town that you are physically located in. You can deliver to other communities. By selecting us, we have an opportunity to ensure the city of Springfield benefits by both jobs as well as revenue through this license model. Tree and Brick is here to provide a safe, cost-effective, efficient delivery service for customers. To further give light to what Tree and Brick is, it's a social equity enterprise that's 100% Black owned, a majority owned by Springfield residents, as well as sister company to Six Bricks and Treevit. I'll now pass it over to Taylor to talk a little bit about the structure in terms of products we will offer.
Thank you, Peyton. Tree and Brick is committed to providing diverse products with a focus on economic empowerment and social equity brands. I have seen firsthand the diversity that customers are looking for in products, as each customer has a unique method of consumption that they are looking for in a dispensary. That being said, our products will include vaporizers, flower, topicals, edibles, and marijuana-infused products such as seltzers, ice cream, and other innovative products that do make it to the market.
Tree and Brick will be committed to the community because we are a part of that community. As Six Bricks has created the Brick Benefit, Tree and Brick will double down in that commitment by also contributing to the 6 organizations you see on the screen and provide a portion of their revenue on elected days to these organizations. This is extremely important to us because we didn't randomly Google search these organizations, but these are all organizations that have a special place in the leadership team's heart because we're personally involved with them in one capacity or another. Additionally, as we think about this new license class, we are committed to hiring women, people of color, veterans, LGBTQIA+ members, Springfield residents, and other diverse populations, understanding that this delivery license class is truly an economical means to get more folks involved in the industry, because currently it still remains 80% majority owned and operated by white men. And as we know, due to the failed war on drugs, that's not representative of those that were unfortunately sent to jail because of the same plant. As we think about this site, it will also be located at 1860 Main Street in Springfield, Massachusetts, next to Six Bricks Retail. This is important because the site we feel strongly about. It's more than 500 feet from residential property, has adequate off-street parking with up to 50 parking spots that can be dedicated just to the use of Tree and Brick. It's zoned in Industrial A and has use types for light manufacturing, office, and warehouse. It's away from schools, churches, parks, and community centers, but has a close proximity to MGM Casino and Union Station, as well as visibility from I-91. As we further think about the site, we did post a legal ad as we legally are responsible to do in accordance with the Cannabis Control Commission's CMR 93500. And so we had that legal ad last 14 days. And then 7 days prior to the meeting, we walked the neighborhood and provided letters to all the abutters to ensure that if there were any concerns, folks could reach out to us. And we also notified the neighborhood councils of this additional license class that we would be seeking to ensure that they knew who we were and how they could contact us if they had any concerns. As we further think about the location and the logistics involved, because this license class will fall more closely related to a subscription model, we will have 2 vans dedicated to the actual delivery of products. These vans will be loaded up in the morning and then sent out into their various routes to deliver to the customers that have subscribed and have selected the products that they want ahead of time. There will be no same-day delivery. Additionally, as you can see from the picture on the right, it further illustrates the way in which this site works extremely well, given the fact that it's not close to anything that would prohibit us from being able to perform the functions of the business, nor would it interrupt day-to-day life of residents that happen to live in that neighborhood. I'll now pass it over to Taylor to talk a little bit more about what it will look like once we get this business stood up, if selected.
So in this slide, we're showing you a glimpse into the warehouse model Peyton previously spoke to. Here's where all the products will be bundled prior to delivery, as everything we receive is already pre-packaged and childproof. The workstations we have set up will accommodate roughly 20 to 25 jobs. This will include 8 packagers, 8 drivers, 2 security, and 2 janitors, which then leaves us room to scale with 5 additional roles.
As we think about the ways in which we will do this, because of the experience that both Jossie and I have, we are able to work with Plymouth Armor Group, which is launching a leasing program that makes this extremely cost-effective to enter in this license category. We will lease vehicles that are already outfitted per the CCC's requirements to do this type of delivery service. It is in partnering with them that we'll be able to procure the 2 vehicles needed and have an effective delivery service through a subscription model. As we think about the delivery drivers, we will have a minimum of 2 delivery drivers for each vehicle. Body cameras will be worn by the delivery drivers, and footage will be kept up to 90 days per the CCC guidelines, and all of the vehicles will be nondescript in order to keep this as discreet as possible, as we still understand that there's a stigma surrounding cannabis, as well as we do not want to make these vehicles a target, putting our drivers or product in harm's way. As we think about the customer experience and how we will materialize this, first, we will ensure that all of our customers are 21 or older. They will have access to an online menu in which they're able to select the items that they would like, as well as the subscription frequency being weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. And we'll ensure that they do not exceed the legal limits in terms of the amount of product they procure. They will then also select a date for delivery, and then they will be able to receive that on the date that they've indicated. We feel like this is the next frontier for cannabis companies as we think about delivery and subscription models, and we would like to be a part of that. More importantly, bringing that to the city of Springfield via jobs, revenue, and taxes. I'll now pass it over to Taylor to talk a little bit about the vendors that we have.
Thank you. In order to ensure the success of this project, Tree and Brick has partnered with skilled vendors for our legal banking and engineering needs. One of the benefits of being a sister company to both Six Bricks and Treevid is we are able to leverage their knowledge and experiences to ensure the success of this company. To name a few of the vendors we're working with, VHB, Alden Credit Union, and Buckley Richardson.
We truly appreciate the opportunity to present to you all tonight, and thank you for your consideration. For any additional comments, questions, or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to treeandbrick@gmail.com. We are truly grateful for this opportunity and hope to have the honor of negotiating a host community agreement so we can bring this license class to the place we all call home. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you. All right. And that concludes the second day of phase 2 public presentation by proposers. We'd like to thank everyone for your time in presenting.
Just a reminder that proposals are due at 2 p.m. on Monday, 2 p.m.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And that concludes tonight's public presentation. Have a good evening. Thank you again.
Thank you.